Okay, guys, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I'm testing something right now. Let's see if it works. Okay, guys, I hope everyone's awesome. It is. I have my backup phone that I can check to make sure my audio is working the way it should. Okay, pop that there. Awesome. So hope everyone is enjoying their, I believe today is Saturday. Let's say it's Saturday. Hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday. My Saturday's not too bad. Just trying to get everything I need to get set up. Let's move this right here just a little bit more and move him right there. That should fix that issue with the chat showing up where it should. Awesome. So again, guys, it's Doc. And we're going to go feed the chickens and we're going to talk a little bit about Red September. So, and why I'm calling it Red September, why I think that we need to be paying, all of us need to be paying close attention to September, and lots of other interesting things going on. Oh, by the way, guys, if you've not seen it, the thing is getting bigger, so as you guys can see, there it is compared to my hand, is popping out doing exactly what I was hoping it would do. So, I guess the first thing let's do a state of the bees. Let's check out and I'll show you guys what the bees. So there, you guys up there, we're seeing the porch bees. Porch bees are doing their porch bee thing, which is good. Next, we're going to peek over here. So these guys are the newest guys. These guys were that's the split I did in late July. And I finally moved them off the porch down to here. Those guys are two of the original blue bees. So that's the original blue bees. That's a blue bee split. This is I believe that's a Carney split. And then we have Carney, flat top bees, and flat top bees as a bees that I caught. For those that heard that story. And then right over here we have the Carnies. Another Carney that came off of that medium one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have the one out back, which I'm hoping there's enough time for it to make a queen, but we will see. Not sure yet. So we'll continue down the path over this way. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to check on everyone, feed everyone, see what water we have in the barn before we go out and collect some more water. It's funny, it did it to me again. I don't know why it's not letting me switch over to my other cam, but it's fine. Oh, that's how you do that. Okay. Cool. Just learned how to make it do what I want it to do. So first thing I wanted to do, guys, is it was chemtrailing like crazy today. I don't know if we'll peek up at the sky, but man, this morning they were just absolutely sending chemtrails everywhere. So just really, like, lot more chemtrails than I've seen in the past. So let's peek up here at You'll notice it's not that chemtraily right now, but if you look kind of like the gaps between the big fluffy clouds, that is still the remnants of the chemtrails to kind of darken up the sky and make it so it's not a nice big blue sky dots, but like milky blue dots between the giant big fluffy clouds. So just kind of messing with the sun quality. Not sure why they do that, but they seem to do that. They stopped for a while, especially during the 2020, like late 2019 through almost all of 2020. The chemtrails was really being reduced. There's still some, but they were really reduced. And now they're kind of back in full force doing their thing. So here we are in the barn. Let me get you guys settled in place. So I'm not sure. I've not actually walked away with this mic on, so I'm not sure how far I can walk away. So sorry if I walk a bit and the quality goes down. If you guys let me know, we're about 12 minutes, 12 seconds into this, so we will see. I'll also check for myself when I go in and review this later. We'll see what the quality of the mic is when I walk back over here. So again, you guys have asked, and it's always important to show what the feed looks like. So here's my feed. So this is really just a mix of birdseed. Right now, this time of year, it is literally just birdseed. I just go and the place I have has this spectacular mix that we've worked out. That's just there's a lot of millet in here. There's a lot of millet. There's a lot of sunflowers. There is some crushed up corn and such like that. So it is just very good. I hear a baby peeping. So. So that's the quality. That's what we do. But during the winter months, we'll start adding in more of the laying mesh, and maybe we'll add more sunflower seeds and such like that to give them more protein, more energy, more things to make them be able to deal with the winter months a little bit better. You guys want to see? We've got some babies. Little babies are. Put that baby in here. These little babies are loud. They're a silky mix, for those that might be wondering what babies those are. Right now, we are pretty much only allowing silkies to breed. Mostly because silkies are pretty calm, really, really chill chickens, and so having the calm, chill chickens breed is kind of what we were going. A handful of ducks did get born this year. Luckily, our buddy Dwayne wanted some ducks, and so he got a few, and then I have about 3 more just wandering around. That'll add to our duck population, the duck population this year. So this is kind of again, all we're doing is I'm just making sure I'm going through freshening up everybody's feed, make sure everybody's good, make sure everybody has access to fresh feed. So the trick, what we try to do here is we want them to either not run out of feed or run out of feed just as we're getting ready to feed them. The idea behind that is if we're just running out of feed just as we're getting ready to feed them, then we're not wasting any. And we are also not making sure that none of those guys are hungry, because we're going to all have all of the feed that they need. Wow, it is. Again, you can tell it's been a while since I've carried this around here, because I have to find different places to put the camera down. Again, guys, if you want to, if you're interested, you can join my Discord, which is exclamation marks. You can type in exclamation point Discord, or It's discord.gg/xDrFirefly. At least that'll work for a little bit longer while we're still being boosted. It'll probably come back if it's not. But you guys can always if something happens and you want to join the Discord, there's lots of ways to get a hold of me to join the Discord. So why might you want to join the Discord? There's lots of different stuff that we talk about on there that's different than what I do during my streams. So we have a very large, really cool community of people where we talk about just a whole big lot of things. Some of us, we play video games together. Sometimes we just, we were playing around with the AI bot. And other things. I'm not sure, so I'm going to do a test here. I don't know what the time is, but I want to see how well this is about the farthest I'll usually get away from the mic, so I'm kind of curious. If I'm that far away, well, that works as I get closer. So that was about 1650 or so. So we'll see about 1650 how the quality sounds. It's a good test. This is a new portable head mic. So just a gaming mic. I think it's HyperX, whatever their cheapest HyperX is. So just making sure that the sound quality, always trying to improve the sound quality and such like that. I did just recently, for those that might be interested, I did just recently start streaming, or today might actually be the first stream. I just recently started streaming on the Foxhole. Just another site to add to. A lot of my friends on DLive that ended up leaving DLive went over to there, so I thought I might as well do a little bit of streaming on there as well. So I think it's set up to be streaming over there, but I'm not sure. It's something that I'm just playing around with, trying to figure out what makes the most sense. So I think that's a general recap of what's been going on with me. On the farm, not a whole lot. Not a lot of things have been born. A couple ducks I told you guys about, the chickens. Still working on getting everything ready and set up so that I can have my, I can bale my hay, because we've been having little issues with the hay and little issues with all of that. So working on getting the hay up and working, getting the hay barn, getting the baler up and working. It is late, and I know it's late in the year for that, but just because it's late in the year, there's still good quality undercut hay. If I have a backup plan, if something crazy happens and I'm not able to get out there and use the baler and such like that, I do have a backup plan. It's probably something I'm going to be working on in the next couple weeks, just because now that it's past, well, that Labor Day is Monday, and we're pretty much, hey Leah, and we're pretty much dealing with that kind of stuff. My backup plan, if for some reason I can't get the equipment that I'm having with the farm to bale the hay the way I want it to, my absolute backup plan is I do have a scythe, and I have plans for a manual baler. And so I might end up putting together a manual baler. I'm hoping, even if my sickle bar mower won't cut, I'm hoping that when Dwayne came over and we got our baler fixed, I'm hoping that it's going to run well enough that I can just sit it in spots and I can scythe the big parts of the field, and then I can just throw the hay in there. So that's it. But my emergency backup plan from all of that, dealing all the way back, is to build a manual baler that you pot the hay in the top and you push it down, then you wrap the string around, and then you have bales like that. So we will see. Hopefully we don't have to get to that, but it's always good to have as many backup plans, plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, until you don't need them. So just feeding the babies over here. Let me get you guys, so you guys probably want to see them again. These guys are cute. So here is the little babies. You guys can see two of the little babies that we got. These are going to be the wild-looking silkies. The ones that their father is a cafefe. He was born during that time era. Okay, so let's recap. Let's make sure, just for mentally going through and making sure that everyone got food. Don't think I got that bunny down there, so let's get that bunny back in that corner over there. A little bit of food. And since I've had some extra, I'll just pop the extra in here. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, bunnies are good, chickens are good. Let's head over to the handy run. What's up, dude? So we're gonna head over to the mic is choppy. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, good. That's really what I wanted to know. If I'm far away, how is it when I'm close? How is the mic sounding when I'm nice and close? Because actually, I might actually have you guys do me one other favor. So it's the same. Okay, got it. Well, give me just a minute, and I'm going to address that issue right now. I wasn't sure. That was one of the concerns I had, is if my mic was going to be choppy or not. So that was a big concern I had about the mic being choppy. So I'm going to go over and address that with getting a different headphones real quickly and see how that works out. And then we will go back to finishing off that, because this was just an attempt. This was just something to try something different with these headphones to see. So I don't know if you guys know, but like with your phone, you can get an adapter and you can use one of those. So I'm going to set you guys here for just a second. You guys can look at the bees. And I'm going to switch out headphones. About 10 seconds. Okay. How is this? Is this sounding any better, guys? Is this still sounding really choppy, really broken up? Because I'm kind of curious if it is, because that's another issue if this one is sounding choppy or broken up. or any of that. There's a handful of things that I have the idea of if that is part of the issue. What if I'm all the way in here? Does this make any difference? What if I'm all the way in here? Okay, this is just fundamentally a better setup. So we're just going to deal with this one and go with that. So okay. Thank you guys. Okay, so back to the handy run and getting that handled. So what's cool is I did figure out a way. I don't know if you guys can tell. I found a way so that chat works. Yeah, so I have the right here. I've got the YouTube and the Facebook chat, and then down below, I have the chat for the DLive and the Twitch. So because I'm trying to multi-stream to a lot of different places, that seems to be the best way. That seems to be the best way to get them both working. So with Prism, that's the program that we're using. This chat right here, that's built in. That has the YouTube and the Facebook already built in. And then the chat that goes down here is Restream. And that Restream is right there. So the Restream is supposed to work with the Discord as well. But yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced yet that I've got that all working the way it should. You should be able to type in Discord under the the streaming chat, and it should show up on here. But when I made an attempt to do that, it was not doing that for me. So, okay, so here we are in Handy Run. Oh, by the way, guys, I got a new hat. I don't know if you guys see. So my new hat. So that's my new streaming hat. This is I think it's called a deer skin something. Yeah, it's just it's the hat that kind of looks like the Sherlock Holmes hat, even though the hat was never really designed for him. It's just a country hat. It's for country hunting and such like that, but just adding more to the gentleman farmer. So probably wondering, some of you wondering, okay, so what is the Red September? I see you mentioning here, Doc. And the Red September is, I think, it's a multifaceted. So first, I want to say that I've been noticing a lot this last, as the last couple days, that red is becoming a very prominent color. Like in red in a lot of things. They're adding red to stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what this prominent red, why they're adding red to things. I've got some ideas. That they're letting you know red flag. There's the warning of red. I think all of the imagery of red, and none of it's accidental. So I do want to make that. I don't believe that when they do things and they make things visible for mass majority of people, I don't think there's ever an accident. I think there's multifaceted. Now, it also could be expect to see more red sunsets. And it could also just be linked to a warning about the sky, because I don't know if you guys have been having internet issues, and I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I've been noticing when I've played Fortnite, Um, I've been noticing when I've just been using my phone, I've been noticing just using the general internet, the internet has been a little wonky. It's not worked as good and as nice as it should be. So, been paying attention. The sun has also been doing some silly things. Those that aren't aware, the sun when it goes through its um, when it goes through its different thing, we've been shooting a lot of X solar flares. Some of them just been missing us. We've had some M classes. We've had some major corona holes that's been crossing over, and all of that affects stuff happening here on Earth. So part of the reason you saw the two hurricanes pop up so quickly is because they were getting a lot of their energy from what's happening with the sun. I've also heard that part of the reason that they haven't been able to to shoot the rocket off yet is because of the sun activity. Now, of course, it's also because for some reason they don't seem to be able to fix holes in their rocket or notice that there's things that. But the Artemis, I also want to mention that they've made it very clear about the guy when I was watching on the NASA page. He goes, well, this rocket, he goes, this booster rocket, he goes, it's not orange, it's reddish orange. And I thought that was an interesting, making sure that he mentioned red again. So, and then if you guys watched one of the more interesting speeches from a world leader in my lifetime, forget anything he said. I don't really care anything about the message and anything that he was saying, but the imagery behind it reminded you of like a movie with the bad guy talking. Now, again, that's just how I perceived it, but it just was really weird and just all that kind of stuff. Just the imagery with, the red tinted lights and the military in the background, and even the camera angle with like that, how like I'm right here with the upper look, is that to show the look of power and such like that. So even all of that was interesting, to say the very least. So there was that. What else did I see that was red? There's something else. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's more and more red things that seem to be popping up. And now this might be an unpopular statement here, but sometimes I don't think all the elite are bad, all of the Illuminati. Sometimes I think they enjoy telling the people that are in the know, the people that know how to look for signs, the people that know how to see things. They let them know. They point out how to interpret the silliness that's happening. So, and I think that's part of the reason they're with the red warning. They're telling us something. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I walk all the way over there, but okay, we got some more guys down that way, so we're gonna head on down. So we rearranged some of the bunnies, giving more of them outdoor. The bunny apartments did really well over the winter, and so we're trying to add more bunny apartments, since the bunnies seem to like having an outdoor space, but an outdoor space that is set up for them. An outdoor space that is set up for them to be able to get fresh air, but also stay very warm during the winter months. One of the things I really like is greenhouse plastic around this, and then some barrier behind it. Seem to do a wonderful job of keeping the bunnies nice and warm during the winter, and still being able to give them the fresh air and everything that they need to So I did it again. I I've done this twice now. I've came out here for the bunnies, and I dropped the feed. So I'm going to walk over there, grab the feed, come right back. So I'll just take you guys with me. I'm really good at dropping these things on the ground. So luckily it was only just a little bit. It was like, just a half. And the bunnies, the outside bunnies, will be more than happy to jump over there and eat what fell on the ground. But silly, silly, silly. So I want everybody, especially those that are on my Discord. Oh, Fernando. I want everybody to keep an eye out for if you start noticing red in advertising, red in the news, red in things that you pay attention to that are designed for the mass public. So, because we all look for different things in the mass public differently. So things that are designed for the public, we all look a little bit differently. So if we all just keep our eyes out and see if you notice, maybe I'm just crazy and there's nothing. But signs, there's always signs. There's always something going on. Everything that happens, there's no coincidences. It's all planned. That might sound conspiratorial to you, but the more you start looking into things, and the more you realize that there is an agenda, there's a plan in place. I'm not going to always go as far as saying that it's nefarious and it's bad and it's something that we need to panic and worry about, but it is something we do need to regularly pay attention to, because there is always, just because that's just the nature of it is the nature of the ruling class and the elite, to tell people what to do and to have as much control. And they've done a spectacular job. I've noticed it. I've noticed it a lot talking with a very big mix of people, is the folks that, and it might be some of you guys as well, and I'm not condemning anybody for this mindset thought, but I have noticed that people are very okay with the government telling people what to do. Like you'll say like, oh, well, we need the rule of law so that people don't break the rules, except for the rule of law is so broken and corrupt. Most people aren't, the people that are making the rules aren't following the rules, but they've somehow been able to trick the rest of us into thinking that we should be following by the rules that they have set in place, even though they're not the ones following those rules. It's very intriguing. Like you hear the argument, if we don't tax everybody to death, how are we going to pay for these roads, and how are we going to pay for our schools, and how are we going to pay for, that? But I don't know if you guys have driven on roads, but for what we pay for roads, they're pretty crappy in reality. And, watch out, Fernando. And, the quality of schools is, and that's another argument. Oh, well, we got to pay for schools. Well, our schools are pretty, not our government schools at least, are not very good. And so if we're paying for all of this stuff in our taxes, but we're not getting something in return, then is it really benefiting us? And some people are going to say, well, yeah, Doc, but, can you imagine how bad the roads would be if we weren't paying for taxes? And maybe they wouldn't be. Maybe groups of community people would get together and say, guys, we need to get together as a community. We need to pay to have this road paved. Or we need to, buy this road and turn it into something better. And, yeah, it can go into dark paths as well. It could go down to the path where everything becomes a toll road. And yeah, that's a bad aspect of things. But it also could lead into the point where people just like, you know what, let's just pull our money together and make this road better. That's a possibility as well. It kind of depends on how people view, shared resources. We take so much for granted. There's so many people look at and think, oh, well, I pay my taxes, I do this, and so the government should do this and this for me. But should the government really, every time we give something more to the government, it means they have to hire more people, and it means that they're going to be less effective at what they do. I mean, nothing against all those guys that you see working, but on the street, but most of the time, you see one or two people working, and you see more people standing around doing nothing. And again, some people might be taking a break, so not everybody, you don't expect everybody to be working 24/7 all the time. But the way that is, it's just, I don't know, you just see more people working. I'm also, if you guys aren't not familiar with the concept of anti-work, I absolutely totally subscribe to the anti-work movement. And the anti-work movement isn't what it sounds like. It isn't saying that no one should be working. What it is our work schedule is currently messed up. Something that you might be very efficient at your job, and you might be able to get your job done in 3 hours. And it might take someone else 5 or 6 hours, but you're paid by the hour. So right now in our current society, you are punished for being good at what you do. So you might be able to say, let's say that you've got a job where you've got a particular quota, and you can meet that quota a lot faster than somebody else. Right now, there's no benefit for you to meet that quota in a short period of time, because most businesses are not going to reward you for getting more work done. What they're going to do is they're going to push that quota up and say, well, you've got a higher quota and someone else does. Because unfortunately, we currently live in a time where businesses don't reward folks that are hard workers, that are dedicated workers. They are worried about their bottom line, or they're worried about their shareholders, which has very little to do with stuff like that. So, Leo X White, thank you for the treats. And so, what this is doing, is this is creating a group of people that don't want to work hard, that don't see the value in putting time in on things. Because I've worked for the man before, and I hate it. I hate having downtime where there's nothing going on, where let's say I worked retail and I've already got all the shelves stocked, and I've already got, that kind of stuff, and there's currently no customers in the store, and, maybe I've got everything straightened, but I'm stuck doing nothing. And my time is more valuable than sitting and doing nothing. Now, if I own that shop, there's a huge difference. If I'm owning this shop and I want to sit around and I'm happy with this kind of stuff, then yeah, I get it, And there are going to be people that like that downtime. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having downtime at work. But I'm saying that if someone is good at something, and they should be, if we're going to do financial rewards for things, you should be financially rewarded respectively, equally to what you're good at doing. And the problem is I know you're going to say, well, not everybody can work a salary job, and that's not good for everybody. And you are absolutely right. And I don't exactly know what the answer is. I have some very strong opinions, but I don't know what the true answer to the question is. Maybe it's automation, and I know that sounds horrible, but maybe it's automation, and we just get good at managing the automation. Maybe someone's job is, you still have your real life cashier, because some people want that human interaction. So it's good to have that human interaction if there's clientele that still want that. So some of the things might just be you still deal with a real life person as a cashier. Other people might want to do the self-checkout. Other people might like the idea where you just scan everything with your app and you go like that. But that is restricting jobs in some parts. And so what we have to do is we have to think and be creative with how we can give someone a high quality life. a good job, a high quality life, and not work them to death. Because let's be honest, like as great as it is to see a bunch of people hard working, no one should have to work more than one job just to get by. Now, if you want to work more than one job and you want to have excess and you want to have more, hey, that's awesome. Like, I understand because, starting businesses, running small businesses myself and such like that, there's a lot of work. Like just doing what I have to do for this nonprofit is a lot of work. So, and I don't get paid or anything for what I do here. It's not, my nonprofit I'm doing this because I know that in the future it'll be able to help lots of people. And I can just, lots of good juju. Like, it's just, when you're dead and people look back on your life, it's not what you had or have, it's what you've done. It's your legacy. And my legacy is going to be making the folks that remember the little things that I did, the little things that I taught them, the little awesome stuff that I helped them create. And it's weird because we live in a paradigm world right now where folks don't understand that, because we're still so lubricated, because you still need money, you still need dollars to lubricate your life. And so they want you. And this is the bad people. And I don't know who the bad people are, but this is the bad people. Or evil is a good way to put it. And I'll explain why I call it evil in a minute. The evil people want you to work your entire life for some pieces of paper so you can look back on it and you can say, what did I accomplish? What did I do? They don't want us fellowshipping. They don't want us doing great things. And so we have to fight that and not put up with it. But that means that you're going to, if you decide to try to live that lifestyle, it's hard because society does not understand that. Society thinks that you are lazy. Society thinks that you're not moving in the right direction. Because we live in a materialistic world. They've tricked us for years and years and years and years and years to consume. And if they didn't trick us to consume, we would probably, our economy would have probably crumbled many years from now, or if it would have crumbled many years ago, and it would have just been, it would have sucked. So, don't hate the player, hate the game, and understand the rules of the game. And then also get to the point where if you want you to understand the rules of the game, you can change the game, make the game your own. Pioneers, innovators, people that's bucked the system, it's hard. And I'm not the best at it. Don't view me as someone who knows how to do this. I am playing the game as best as I can and trying to make up my own rules, and I most of the time don't have the slightest idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of figuring out stuff on my own. That's why I have my Discord, by the way, !Discord or discord.gg/extractofirefly. You can jump on there, hang out with us. We're not solving all the world's problems, but we're having a good time fellowshipping and enjoying each other's company and talking about awesome stuff and making things better, or at least trying to. Because we can look and we can see how horrible everything is. And most of it's outside of your control. Like we were talking, these 9-to-5 jobs, these people working, 11, 12 hours and not being able to make enough to support their lifestyle. Now, part of it is, like, let's roll back and let's have an honest conversation about this. Part of the reason why people can't manage their lifestyle is because they live in excess. So they have been tricked, not blaming them, they've been tricked into thinking that they have too much. Guilty, absolutely guilty of that. So there's that desire to want more, to have more, to want the latest, greatest, flashy, nicest things. I'm guilty of that as well. But you have to figure out how to balance that. You have to figure out where, when does it make sense to, have a $300,000 house with, 3 bathrooms when you might only ever need 1 bathroom. Or when does it make sense to have that nice car and to have that nice car, not have that nicer car, have a little bit older car and just deal with the repairs, because when you break down the price of the repairs compared to your monthly payments, the repairs are better, or, that cup of coffee, or that, that thrift store hat that you bought, or, more ducks, more chickens. It's finding out with your lifestyle and how you're choosing to live, and having to deal with that and how to find that balance, which is going to be best for you. And it's hard. Like, I'm not, by no means am I telling anybody out there that when you jump into the crazy life of trying to be an outlaw, be on the outside of the system, that there is, to live in the fringes of society, that it is that's easy, or that it's something that is achievable over a short period of time. I would love to be here on the farm. I'd love to be making 90% of my own food, and I could be making 90% of my own food. I don't, like, my excuse is I'm lazy. My excuse is I have ADD and I have other things that I am focusing my attention on. But are those really excuses? Like, they're kind of lame. But that's the realness of this. You're never, everything takes patience and time and dedication, and while I don't like the word hard work, smart work, and doing what needs to get done. And okay, some people are good at it. I'm not. I'm okay at it. So, anyways, I don't know how I got on that rant. Oh, I got on that rant because we are talking about the red September. And I also think that our way of life, that we know it, is over. No ifs and ways about it. This materialistic, crazy, fun, excess, supersize me, idea is gone. We've allowed the elites to mess up the system so much, break the system so much, that we're not going to have it back. So I'm not going to blame a particular group of people. I'm blaming us. So you have a lot of people that want to get on there and they want to put the blame on everybody else. They want to put the blame on a particular type of people, race of people, religion of people, class of people. And while I don't like the elites, and I know how the elites view us, the simple fact is we didn't do anything to change it. We didn't do anything to stop it. Most of us aren't doing anything to make things better. So, the best, easiest way for evil to win is when good men do nothing. So, I also wanted to mention that thing about what evil, because I think I view evil in a different way than a lot of people do. So evil, write the word down in English. Flip it around, it's live. Evil is just anything that's stopping you from having the ability to live. And the devil, which is just lived backwards, the devil is a creature. The devil is just like a person or a creature or something that has stopped you from living, that is actively doing things that is making it so you haven't lived, so that somebody else has your life. Hence the reason why some people say money is the root of all evil, and in some ways it is. It's the root, but it's not the cause. And money was a great idea back in the day. It was a great way to barter when it was a great way to barter when you didn't know how you were going to spend your time, and you did something extremely valuable. And like, there is a difference between the amount of time it makes to collect some eggs or to go to a dentist. There's a huge difference in the two of those. And so money helped even that kind of stuff out. It made it easier for folks to be able to trade some of their time for unknown reward in the future. And money was just the ability to get that unknown reward in the future. Somehow, over the last handful of generations, we have forgotten that the purpose of money is for the unknown reward in the future. Part of it is because we, myself included, part of it is because we buy things before we have exchanged services for goods. So with the idea of credit, credit is the idea that you're going to get something now, and then you're going to work for it later. So, and while that can work, sometimes it's a hard concept when everything now is based off of credit. It's good for small things. Like, it's always good. Like, credit is a spectacular concept. It means that if you need something now, you can get something now, and then just work a little bit for it and have it nice in the future. Mortgages, that's all they are, is you having the ability to live in something nice and having a nice place to live before you can pay that off, because somebody else put a lot of work into building that structure, making it nice and making it beautiful and preserving it and all the other kind of stuff. And so it's best that you give them something properly in return. So I think I've got everybody watered in here. I'm just running through the last little bit. We got the bunnies outside watered. Everybody watered in here. Okay, so we should be good. So we can go for our little walk to the market garden and continue on this conversation. So I personally love bartering. I like the idea of, just having building a high trust society. And I think, going back to that high trust society, I think that's part of the problem that we live in today, is that there's still a lot of people. I didn't give Sylvia food. When you get Sylvia food, the piggy's gonna be sad. We still have a lot of folks like myself, folks like other just good people, that still believe we live in a really high trust society. And the high trust society example is when you can do something on a handshake and you know that the person's going to be good for it, or that the person's not purposely trying to screw you over or to do anything bad. Now, does accidents happen, and does stuff happen where people can't live up to their commitment, and people can't do all the things that they wanted, they promised, they guaranteed? Yeah, that happens. And that's always happened. Somebody might be really good at fixing a car, or someone might be really good at doing, painting a house, or taking care of some animals, or fixing your computer, or something like that. But something comes up and they only gave you a 90% instead of 100%. Where is Miss Sylvia? I'm trying to see if she's in her house. And she is not. So in situations like that, in a high trust society, it's okay, as long as that person doesn't continuously do those things and continuously take advantage. Then in a high trust society, that's just how it is. People have bad days, bad things happen, but they're ultimately a good person doing good things. Folks in a low trust society, and there's a lot of third world countries are low trust societies because their society is based more on survival. So, and we're not passing judgment on why that community is set up as a survival community, why, what brought them into that situation, but that's where they're at. They're in a They're in a survival type thing. Some of you guys want to see Sylvia, so let's peek over and say hi to Miss Sylvia. And there is Miss Sylvia. Eating her dog food. So people are really, they need to look out for themselves. And, it's survival of the fittest, dog eat dog, all that kind of stuff. But we should not, I'll state this many times, we should not be living in that anymore. We have the technology, we have the manpower, we have the will. That is something that we should just not be accepting. We should not accept the fact that we live in we have the ability to live in a high trust society, but low trust people are extracting our wealth, extracting our resources, extracting our essence, because your time is your essence. Your time is who you are. You should be spending your life for the betterment of the future. I know that sounds weird. Some of you might not like that idea. But you should be making this world better for future people you will never meet. You should be, because the idea is they should have been making it better for you. And I think that through a lot of time history, people have. I don't know how to build a cell phone, but I'm talking to you guys on one right now. I don't know how to build headphones or speakers. I don't know how to make speakers. I don't know how to invent that kind of stuff. But somebody invented speakers and then invented a mic and then took this steps and steps forward and then betterment of my life. Because some people I'll never meet, some people that were long gone many, many years ago, made my life better by taking little baby steps. I mean, heck, even the folks that built this headphones, the people who use their hands either to run a computer, to program in all the programming stuff, or the people that actually literally had to put screws in or push buttons on a machine, they, maybe not knowing, but they were doing that and making my life better. It's just, I don't know. It's such a hard concept for me to be able to say simply. Because in my world, in my head, in my reality, it's just like a duh. Like, this is just something that it's what we should be doing. It's how we should be viewing the world. It's how we should be doing things. And I know I have a lot of friends, and I know a lot of people that don't agree with me there. Some of the older folks I know, the ones that die with the most toys wins. Some other people are like, oh, I have to have the nicest car, the nicest house. What will the neighbors think if I don't have, this, that, and the other? And you know what the neighbors think? Oh, look, they're real. They're real people. Maybe some jealous neighbors or some neighbors that, I don't know, are miserable and angry might look at things and say, they don't like things, but they're not living your life. You are living your life. It's the same thing. I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm going to switch to a different direction. One of the things, I've heard it a lot, and it's hard for me to understand. And again, I'm mentioning as all this other stuff is super easy for me to understand. And I guess it's not hard for me to understand, it's hard for me to accept. Maybe we'll separate the words into that so that there's a little difference. So in the high societies, in the high trust societies where people aren't stuck into materialistic things, and we've got a handful of those that actually exist, a lot of people have less things and are happier. They spend more time with the things that they want to spend time with, and less times focusing on their stuffs. I like stuffs is the problem. I don't know why I like stuffs. I don't know if it's a hoarder nature, my pack rat nature, squirreling everything away. Uh, I don't know if some people are just, it's easier for some people to have stuffs and other people to not have stuffs. Okay, that's the one downfall to these headphones. As much as I like the sound with them and they do so well, the downfall is that they cut out. So it's give and take, I guess. Everything we have is it's ebb and flow, it's give and take and such like that. So so yeah, I think I've probably been ranting on long enough. We should probably head back to the house. I've got other things that I need to do. I'm gonna have lots of exciting things to be talking about in the very near future. So we've got a lot of exciting plans. We're putting in a victory garden this fall, and we're going to be doing a good big victory garden. We're going to be doing a little extension onto the barn to make sure that the barn has what it needs. Waiting on the information about that the piece of property in Bluefield that I bid on. Maybe that will work out, and we can have we'll be able to do. I'll have a lab and such there, and what else? Oh, I've got a still working on what possibly might be a really fun project in the future. Not sure yet. I just started working on some of the basic ideas of that in the future. If you want to know more about that, you can join the Discord and we can talk more about that there. But for you guys that are just regular watching me stream, you guys, that'll be something to look forward to. So I should probably know by guessing right around Thanksgiving. I'll get some idea of what's going to happen with that. So kind of excited about that. Um, and so there's a lot of cool things, just waiting on the horizon that we're going to see about. So we will. It'll be pretty. It'll be pretty exciting. So lots of cool stuff. So make sure you guys keep following me here. I'm going to start streaming more regularly. I'm going to try to stream a Let's Feed the Chickens Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And starting in October, I'm going to bring back, I'm going to start a nightly show, probably about an hour, hour and a half long. Some nights we're going to talk about, that'll be on Tuesday nights. Some nights we're going to talk about homesteading, farming, stuff like that. Other nights we'll just talk about the signs we see in the world to help us guide us down the right paths, so that we know all of the same knowledge that the folks that are doing the big prepping, the big preparing, what the elites know. We're going to start looking. We're going to talk about how we can start identifying the signs that they do, how we know when to make decisions. So that'll be something that we talk about. That show will start in October. So that'll be something to. Those are other things to look forward to. And I might, because we've been playing video games and such every night, I might start streaming a little bit in video games. So just because it's just, I realize that video games is a good fellowship. It's a good place to give lots of fellowship, to hang out with folks in the evenings. It's better than going to the bar. It's better than, doing that kind of stuff. It's just a good place for like-minded folks, or even folks that aren't like-minded. Just sit around, have a good time, enjoy each other's company, learn to be friends again, learn that act of having conversation with another human being, because it seems like everything in our world has kind of separated that. Yeah, we don't have the one-on-one connections and the vibe of being with another person, but with this digital world that we're moving into, it's probably the next closest thing. So, and yeah, Lisa's Etsy channel will be coming up soon, so we're going to be putting stuff on there. We're probably going to, on her Etsy channel, we're going to be focusing on a lot of stuff that she makes. She makes some really awesome handmade stuff. And I'm also going to be putting the seeds and other things that are easy to mail, other like vegetable root stocks and such like that. That's easy to mail. I'll be having those on the Etsy channel as well. Uh, and yeah, I think that's really about it, guys. So If the bees all survive through this winter, next year we'll be hardcore doing honey. So that'll be something else that'll be able to might be doable next year, but it all depends on how well I can I can learn the tricks to get the bees through the winter this year and thrive. So almost back to the house. So again, guys, it's Doc. Told you about the Discord. Told you I will be doing shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. Told you I'll be doing a Tuesday night show. And told you about that's the end. By the way, you can watch these replays. There is a replay. I have Odyssey. There is Odyssey if you guys like to use Odyssey. This is also on YouTube, which also means it's on Rumble. And I don't think the BitChute one's uploading and such working right. So there's that. And then streaming wise, I'm streaming here on DLive. I'm streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Odyssey, the Foxhole. I think that is it for now. So anyways, friends, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Leo X White, thank you for the donation, and to everyone else, enjoy the rest of your day. Stock. Adios.